Yo, what's up? I'm here to review the dating app Hinge. I'm gonna be comparing Hinge against two other dating apps. I can't like there's like a million of them, but I'm not gonna go to OK Cupid and all those weird ones that I think are probably for like 45-year-olds. Um, I don't know any. That's not my area. Okay, so we're not doing that. We're comparing Hinge against Bumble and Tinder, but primarily Tinder because I have beef with Tinder. I think the app is really bad. Also, Bumble is pretty shite as well, but basically my thesis for this video is that, in my opinion, Hinge is the best app, period. It's like social media app. Like, it's not better than like the Apple Maps app, for example, or like the Target app. But it is, I think, the best social. It's, in my opinion, it's the best social media app because these days when I go on my phone, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, basically those, I use TikTok and Instagram and then YouTube, but I don't harbor as much resentment for YouTube. Actually, I do. I hate YouTube as well, but for different reasons. When I go on Instagram and YouTube now, it feels like a chore, and I feel like I'm just doing it out of habit. I feel like I know pretty much what I'm going to see on there. It's going to be the same sort of people, and there's going to be people talking to me saying the same things, and everybody posts the same shit. And I think everybody just is doing it over and over. I think that Instagram is like actually dying. And I know that Meta, Facebook, whatever you'd like to call them, just lost heaps and heaps of money for a variety of reasons, but I wouldn't be buying I wouldn't be trying to time the bottom of Facebook stock personally, because I just don't see the future of Instagram. I know this is totally tangential to what I got on here to talk about, but anyway, in the same way that Instagram, I think, is like sort of just people use it because they've used it, I think that people use Tinder because it's Tinder. It's like the first one. It has the name recognition. Like, if you look something up, you say, I'm going to Google this. That's just, it's synonymous. So when you want to meet up with some ladies or some dudes or some theys online, then you download Tinder because that's just what you're supposed to do. Meanwhile, I think the development of dating apps has progressed, and I think Tinder has failed to adapt. Their shit is looking seriously obsolete, and also it's just really difficult to look at in general. I think Tinder went from being like kind of a cool app concept. Now it just reminds me of Snapchat, where you go on like the Snapchat, I don't even know how to use this app. You go on like the Snapchat news page, and it is just like a disgusting, totally random can of worms. You have no idea what you're going to look at, and none of this is what is stuff that I want to click on. It's just e-waste. It's digital garbage. How I nearly removed my birthmark. There's zero curation involved with Snapchat. And so if you ever want to complain about major media companies track your data, imagine if everything that you looked at every day was all like Snapchat, because there would be no targeted advertisements. It would just be random nonsense. So that's probably not the world that you want to exist in. Anyway, I think Tinder is, I'm about to go on some incel shit, but Tinder feels very difficult to use. Everybody has beef with Tinder. Like, I've seen articles where girls are like, this shit doesn't work for me as a woman, and the dudes are like, well, that shit doesn't work for me as a guy either. So clearly there's a massive problem. When I set up Tinder, I set it up and I didn't look into the settings or anything, and it turns out that it had defaulted to looking at men. I got 64 likes in one day. And I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Look at all the attention that I'm getting. And it wasn't intentional. I'm not trying to like gay bait or anything like that, because I'm a straight guy. I'm not trying to get the attention of gay dudes. That wasn't my intention. It was an accident. And so I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, it's even if you're not into other guys, it's still like a nice ego. It's like, I am desirable. It's nice, because that's something that people go onto dating apps for, right? Is they want attention, they want to talk to people, they want to feel desired, etc. And I was flattered by that. So then I go and change it to what my preferences are supposed to be, which is women. And I think I was swiping for about 1 week, and I maybe was swiped right on like 3 times. I didn't get a single match the whole time. And that obviously was a shock to my ego. I'm like, am I this foul that not a single woman would be into me? I had a really hard time using Tinder, both like in terms of getting results, but also in terms of like actually looking at the app, because the app is like aesthetically really, really gross. I hate the way it looks. And also it's like, it's totally, I think the way that Tinder works is it was a fine way to start, but I find it really demoralizing and dehumanizing to just be looking at people, and your only real like way of like gauging them is through the way that they look. And I know we're shallow people, and Tinder is a shallow app, but that doesn't mean they can't do anything apart from that. And the measures that Tinder has taken to kind of like add some interest and add some different like conversation points are so pathetic. Like, you can import like your Facebook likes onto there. Like, what year is it? Like, importing your Facebook likes? I haven't used Facebook since I was probably 14 years old, and I don't think I have liked anything on Facebook since I was probably 10 years old. So the idea now that I would be, as a 24-year-old man, that my Facebook likes, my interests as a 10-year-old are now going to be a good avenue for me to spark conversation with women. Aren't these people that do these apps supposed to be smart? Like, I choose like gardening and like astrology as things that I was interested in, and then if you see somebody else, like, it pops up like, oh, this person's also into gardening. Like, what the is that really the best you can do? It all feels really sort of outdated. And also the blue check mark, come on, seriously? We need to be verifying ourselves for Tinder. It's all just like, that's just pandering to people's like desires to be fucking celebrities and stuff. Like, oh, I need a blue check mark. Like, the obsession with the blue check mark is like so lame. And if you're going to say that blue check marks are good because, then you can verify that that's a real human being that you're talking to, there are 100% bots that have the blue check mark. In fact, I would be more wary of accounts that are taking the time to verify themselves with check marks than ones that don't have them. Like, this is a red flag to me. I never want to be verified. It's whack. This is where I think Hinge does a really good job. In my opinion, Hinge sort of picked up all the places where Tinder has been slacking. Aesthetically, Hinge is vastly superior, as well as the interaction. And this is the reason that I think that Hinge is so fun, is because you see a random profile. First of all, the way that it's just black and white. There's no like disgusting color gradients like of gold and pink and stuff. It's like, ugh, gross, yuck. And every 5 seconds on Tinder, there's an ad. Like, it feels like the app has a virus. Like, every 5 seconds you get popped up with something, and whether it's Tinder trying to sell you something or literally just a random advertisement that you accidentally click on and then you get stuck in this screen that's difficult to get out of. It's like if you've ever downloaded some stupid mobile game and it's literally like every 8 seconds they make you watch some 30-second ad. That's how Tinder feels now. And in my opinion, Tinder is like, Tinder has to die. I mean, the app is so pathetic. I think to even have the app be usable, you have to pay, which is not a model that I think is going to fosters long-term success if you're an app, I don't think. Anyway, Hinge fixes the problems. Aesthetically, they fix the problem. Another smart thing that Hinge does is they use square photos, which is so much less of a hassle. Because if you've got an old photo that you like of yourself or something in it, and it was squared, like, the cropping process is much easier, and also scrolling when something is square, because of the orientation of an iPhone, you can put text under it, and it's really easy to use. So I think square is superior. The voice prompts are really excellent, because you can listen to you can hear what somebody sounds like off rip if they're comfortable with that. Tinder, all you see is what the person looks like. You can actually sort of convey a little bit of your personality. My God, I hate this so much. You also have like the other little text prompts in between, where you can either write something interesting or you can be the most uninteresting individual possible. Like saying, let's debate this topic. Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. The amount of times that I have seen this message on the Hinge app it's honestly, it's just sad. It's like ages ago, Tinder, all the girls would have, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And I don't like to toss around the word NPC too much. Like, I think it's a little bit overused at this point, but you are literally on some NPC shit if you want to debate pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Like, where is that conversation even going, honestly? I mean, if you can have that discussion with somebody and then you end up getting married because you're able to find common ground over pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, then good on you. It's like, it's the same thing as if you go on TikTok, you'll see that guys keep doing this thing with their Hinge profiles with the voice prompt where they're like, oh, this is my celebrity impression of Chewbacca. And they go, hey, I'm Chewbacca.
Oh, hey, it's me, Chewbacca. Whoa, Han, we gotta get to the spaceship.
It's like, that's the least fucking funny thing of all time. Please stop. I get upset when I see those, and people keep reposting them like, oh, it's so funny. It's like, how many times have we seen this? It's so incredibly blown out. That brand of humor is funny when it's like overly caffeinated stream of consciousness, mental breakdown type of shit. But it's the complete opposite of funny when you're copying it from somebody else. Like, that is only funny when it's original and it's your idea. To steal that joke and then repost it like on your dating profile or something with you doing it it's I can't think of anything less funny. Anyway, what I like about Hinge, you get to interact with people, and that's how you like them. You get to respond to a post, a text post, or a photo. Basically, the way that you interact with somebody on Tinder is you just swipe right, you just send them a like, and then they see your photos, and they get to decide, based off the way this person looks, is there any potential between us? Hinge, what it gives you, the thing that Hinge does that Tinder fails to do is, yes, they can see what you look like, but you're also able to send them a message with it as well and say, like, you can say something funny, like if a girl has a photo at the beach, like, you could say, please throw sand in my eye, or something like that. You can fucking be the desperate horny guy. That's an option. That's a pretty good strategy these days. Even if you're not like the sexiest dude of all time, you can still make a joke, and usually girls like guys that are funny. So you have a fucking fighting chance on Hinge. Like, I actually get matches on Hinge because I'm allowed to communicate on a social network. Isn't that crazy? Social media apps work well if they allow you to actually communicate with another human being. So basically what I'm saying about Hinge is that it's like all these different photos and text prompts and things like kind of generate unique situations to where you can have unique interactions with people. And yes, a lot of people use the same shit over and over again, but that's good because then those people, you don't have to waste your time trying to get into a conversation with somebody who is obviously you're not compatible with. Like, I'm not going to swipe right on a girl who says pineapple doesn't belong on pizza because I know that we are not going to have a fruitful conversation. I wish her the best of luck. And the guy who wants to discuss, or the girl, they want to discuss pineapple on pizza. I hope that they have a really good conversation about it. But I'm not fucking even remotely interested in having that discussion. So right off the bat, we don't have to match, even if in like the fucking once a week I get one match. I don't want that match to be wasted on somebody who wants to talk about pineapple on pizza, because I'll only find out, unless I'm sort of can glean a lot of information just from their pictures, I'm only going to find out that piece of information after I swipe right on them. So Hinge bypasses like a failed like or something. And I noticed the culture on Hinge is, in my experience, and maybe it's just curated because of the people that I interact with, seems a lot more self-aware, and I feel like I'm looking at real human beings versus like just randomly generated profiles. Like on Tinder, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of them were like not even real individuals. It feels like Hinge actually has an algorithm that tries to show you people that you could potentially be interested in or have something to talk about with. It's obviously, it's not perfect, but it feels like it's not a complete waste of time swiping, versus Tinder feels like they will just show you anybody. Like, they don't give, it doesn't try to learn anything about you or take anything into account with you. It's just like, well, we'll just show you every single person that has an account within a 40-mile radius. And they have all these like different options for ways that you can spend money on the app. And what is this page, by the way? Like, this is what I was talking about, how Tinder feels like Snapchat. I don't even know what this page is supposed to be. Get your photo verified. Spotify music mode. Looking for love, sweep me off my feet, discover free tonight, down for something spontaneous. These are all just like Band-Aid solutions to problems with the way that Tinder just works, which is that you can't talk to people. You only get the chance to talk to somebody after you've matched, which makes zero sense. Imagine if you walked up to somebody at a bar and you just had to like stare at each other and then telepathically get like the approval. Like, we may now begin conversation. I haven't mentioned Bumble really thus far. Basically, I only even talked about Bumble because I think Bumble is such a fucking nightmare. It is so bad. I have one screenshot that basically, I think, perfectly summarizes the issue with Bumble, and I'll put this on screen. What the fuck is this? This should not be on the app. Like, I'm getting a headache looking at this. I'm getting anxiety. I mean, if we've learned one thing about like design in general, look at how every like major company, like how they're sort of simplifying their logos and shit. Design in general, what people like at the moment is simplicity. They don't want to feel overwhelmed and anxious when they're looking at their phone screen. This is so bad. How can you be like a techie Silicon Valley person who works for a dating app, which probably makes tons and tons of money, and think that putting this on there is a good idea? When I saw this, I deleted the app. This is a screenshot. I don't have Bumble. I was like, I am not fucking spending any of my time. I'm not giving these people any of my attention because my attention is currency with people that do this. Spotlight from 183, super swipe from 153. It just devolves into all these weird microtransactions, which I think is some of the worst things about dating apps. It's ugly even down to the amount of money that you have to pay for these services, the denominations of cash that you're supposed to spend. Like, you know that it's 183 and 153 because those are the numbers when you like separate it from the package deal that they obviously would prefer that you buy, so they give you these really disgusting like price options that you don't want to click on. It feels very dystopian. Do not spend any money on these microtransactions, please. Like, I don't have any research on it, but what I will say, firsthand knowledge, and I talked to somebody on my Patreon about this who left a very thoughtful comment. He had said that he doesn't like Hinge because, you know, people spend their money on it and they get their feelings hurt because things don't go their way. Okay, first of all, one of the major things with dating apps is temper your expectations. Don't think that anybody is going to like you or that things are going to work out, you know, for you, or that anybody is going to take any of this shit seriously. I think the number one rule of dating apps is you shouldn't take it seriously. That's my opinion. I think that if you take it seriously, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment and anguish, and you should just be like, hey, if this works out, then it works out, which is dope. I'm going to enjoy myself. I think you should go on, my take is you should go on dating apps to have fun. And this guy was telling me, he's like, well, I have this friend and she bought these roses, which is to Hinge what super likes are to Tinder. If you don't know what a super like is, it's like the same thing as liking somebody, but it's a special like. So it tells the person that you like them on Tinder. They don't just also have to coincidentally like you as well. It'll say, this person sent you a big like. They sacrificed a piece of their spirit to get your attention. Don't do that. I would encourage everybody to not spend any money on dating apps, but if you are going to, I bought the pro version of Hinge, which I'll talk about in a second. If you're going to, I would strongly disincentivize you to go with the super like or the rose thing, because basically it's a fucking desperation move. Let's be real. You can say it's like buying somebody a drink at a bar, but really it's like, please fucking notice me, please. Like, I'm basically, I have paid $1 to this corporation, this evil Tinder corporation, so that my profile goes a little bit higher on the like the noticeability ranking than other people's does. This feature just kind of preys on the fact that people are like, well, I'm not getting any matches because Tinder's probably not showing my profile, which they're probably not showing your profile very much. But also, you know, you're still the same man, whether you have Tinder Gold or Tinder Platinum or Tinder Standard or Tinder Plus or whatever Tinder is out there. Like, if you're going to use the app, it's going to require some patience. When you pay for things, when people know that you've paid for it, it adds like a level of desperation. And I'm not saying don't ever spend any money on apps or dating apps or anything like that. Like I said, because I did buy Hinge, the premium version of Hinge. And the reason that I ended up buying the pro version of Hinge is because I had a good time on the app, and I didn't feel overwhelmed, and I didn't feel scammed, and I didn't feel forced into a corner about getting Hinge, the premium version. It wasn't trying to hit me with like 10 different microtransactions, like boost your profile here, and then, oh, did you want to look at that person's profile again? Did you accidentally swipe left when you were in a flurry? Tinder does this thing where they like send you 800 girls that you're not going to like, or guys, whatever. Like, they send you all of these not very desirable profiles because they have like an ELO system. They know which ones are good and which ones are bad. Good or bad, whatever, high ranking and low ranking, and then they put like a hottie at the tail end. So you're like, no. Oh, fuck, what have I done? I've swiped left on the hottie. And then you want to go back. They're like, ooh, did we get you? Was somebody not paying attention while they were losing their will to live and their soul during that fucking dehumanizing 60 seconds back there? Pay us $5 and we'll let you see that girl again who's never gonna fucking care about you. I don't feel like Hinge does that, which is why I like Hinge. Hinge lets you go back. And basically, with the Hinge Premium, basically what you get is you get to see everybody who has liked you, which is cool. You can do that anyway, but you can only see one at a time with the Hinge, without Hinge Premium. So it's not like you don't have to get Hinge Premium, and it's $30 a month, which I guess that sounds like a lot. But I think that if you're serious about trying to meet somebody online, or if you really enjoy the app like I did, then I could justify it because I wasn't mad at it. Like, I felt like I could still use the app without it. It was just going to enhance the experience a little bit. And that's what I want. I feel like for Tinder, you've got to pay for like 7 different things just to have the app be usable. Like, I don't want to pay Tinder any money because I hate them. Like, the longer I spend on Tinder, the more I despise the company. Like, I'm okay with giving Hinge money because, like, I'm okay with funding their operation because I think it's a genuinely good app. So, yeah, Hinge does this thing. This is, I guess, what I would call a more controversial feature where they have these standouts. There's a page with standouts, and I would encourage you guys to not go to the standouts page because the way the standouts page works is... You have to send, these are like the most desirable users of the day or whatever in your area, and you get to see like the sexiest, hottest people on there, and you can send them a rose, which is like not gonna fucking do anything. None of these people give a shit about you, but basically you get to hit the crack pipe a little bit and try to chase the dragon and be like, ooh, that would be nice, huh? If this like fucking 10 out of 10 that goes to USC, like maybe she'd be into a guy like me if I just send her a little rose. Nah, she doesn't give a fuck about you, bro. Don't go there, okay? Going to that page, they're gonna get you by the balls. I'm not saying Hinge is not evil. I'm just saying they're less evil than everybody else. That's how they get you. Is like they're gonna show you these hot girls, and it's like you toss them a rose or whatever. You get like 1 rose a week, I think. Just don't go over there. That section is like getting a scratcher. You know, you go to 7-Eleven or your local convenience store. You scratch. You're like, well, I hope I get lucky this week. I hope I get lucky. You spend like the $5 for a scratch or whatever. It's like, fuck. Okay, well, I guess I'll try again next week. If I win the lottery here with this tan hottie that goes to UCLA that studies neurosciences, then hey, that would be sick. I'll be set for life. But the odds are not on your side. You're probably better off playing it straight and going out and getting a job, because they really tap into with these, like with this section. I bet they make good money off this section because people will buy the roses, because you can't just send them regular likes on the standout section. You can only send the roses. They fill you with optimism and desire. Nothing ever comes of it. You just got to keep tossing money in there. So that's what I'd say is don't spend your money on the standout section. Don't buy super likes. Don't buy anything like that. Do yourself a favor. Yeah, so my takeaway from this, I know this has been all over the place and I've just been ranting and raving, I'm not a very structured individual, is I think dating apps can be very fun. Legitimately, I think that they can be cool. And I think Hinge is a very, very good app, period, not only a dating app. I think you can have a lot of fun on there if you sort of have the right mindset, which is that don't have any expectations, don't take it seriously, just take it for what it is. And maybe you run into somebody on there that you can form a connection with. If you're lucky, I would just try to meme my ass off on there and just see where it takes you. Don't think you're gonna meet your wife on Hinge. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I think when people feel entitled and they feel like they are owed attention or they are owed something by other people, that's usually when they go wrong. So just avoid that in general. I would think don't spend money if you can avoid it, because ultimately, like, that's just going to be like kind of humiliating. So otherwise, if you're single, if you were looking for something to do on your phone, I would definitely try out Hinge. I genuinely do think it's a lot of fun. I think that's it. Thanks for watching.